You guys ready?
I'm going.
Well, thank you all for being here. You know, we are here at this library, a library older than our country itself, the best library in the country, a place like no other, as you all know. And oftentimes when I'm here, when Senator Blumenthal is here, it is to announce good news. This library is a center of our community. It's a library that's growing and innovating in so many new ways. But we're here today for a reason that none of us want to be here for, to talk about funding for the American Place, a program that has won national awards, gained national recognition, more than anything, a place that is home for so many who visit our city for the first time. I'm the 68th mayor of this city and the first immigrant mayor of the city of Hartford. And you know, I think a lot, I reflect a lot about my immigrant journey when I come into this library, when I see kids at my branch, the Park Street branch, when I see kids here in the downtown branch who are going through similar journeys that I went through. And you know, when I got married, my wife asked my mom a question that I never asked. She said, "What was the hardest part of your immigrant journey?" And for my mom, who left Sri Lanka during the midst of a bloody and brutal civil war, a choice that she didn't want to make, went to UK and then Zimbabwe, where she had me, and came here. She said it was this feeling of isolation. Nobody really understood the culture, understood my journey, understood where I came from. The American Place is a place that provides a lot of hard skills goodness. It also provides a place of belonging, a place of community for those who are coming into this foreign environment, facing many of them some of the most untold circumstances, some of the worst journeys. People with incredible resilience, incredible strength, who come here to start a life in this country. It is among the most American of things that you can do. It is the one thing that binds all of us who call ourselves Americans. And I'm so proud that we have a senator, that we have leadership in the state, and we have a senator who recognizes that, who's willing to stand up for the voices of the voiceless, who's willing to stand to the gap, and point out when things are happening that are wrong. And in these days, it is more important than ever before. So thank you, Senator Blumenthal, for being with us and for all of your work on behalf of the city of Hartford and the state of Connecticut. We can applaud for that. And thank you to the library, to Homa, to all of the staff here for all of the incredible work you do. For the best library in the country, and the best library director, best CEO in the country, Richard Quinn.
Thank you, Mayor. Bridget Quinn, President and CEO of the Hartford Public Library. I want to thank Senator Blumenthal, of course our mayor, the entire federal delegation for really rallying around us right now. It has been a very challenging few months for libraries, and our elected officials, particularly our federal elected officials and Senator Blumenthal, have been there for us since we started experiencing the challenges that we've been having. In 2023, the American Place, a program of the Hartford Public Library, we were awarded $450,000 from the USCIS, United States Citizenship and Immigration Services Department, to expand our citizenship program. On March 27th of this year, we were told that that contract, that grant, had been ended, effectively putting our program at risk and jeopardizing future funding in that same notice that we had. We are currently assessing our situation. Obviously, it is incredibly impactful for us, and it's just on top of the other challenges that we have been having and facing because of the volatility of funding. We're a place where knowledge is free and everyone is welcome, and access to information and educational resources is the foundation of a successful and prosperous society. And we're deeply concerned about the increasing attempts to undermine the library's essential role in our communities and here in Hartford. So we are so grateful for the incredible support of our elected officials, and so grateful to Senator Blumenthal for helping us navigate this and hopefully coming to some resolution. So please help me welcome Senator Blumenthal.
This library is really a very special place. I'm always excited and inspired to walk into the library and see how many people are making use of it, people of all ages, different races and religions. You know, I go to immigration and naturalization ceremonies here in Hartford and all around the state. They take place on Fridays in our courthouses. And I go whenever I can, literally 3-4 times a month at least. And I give a little speech to the new citizens. And I say to them, you will never take for granted that you are a United States citizen. You just took a test that many Americans couldn't pass. And they smile, they laugh. And they know it's true. They know that they have studied to become a United States citizen. And I often think about who teaches them all that they learn about America, our government, our public servants, our electoral process, who educates them. And it is the American place, among others. The American place. What a wonderful title. The American place. Yes. Here in the library in the city of Hartford, it doesn't get any better, any more American. Here we go into Memorial Day, and I am proud to stand here to say we must get that funding for the American place, because we need those new citizens here legally, they're legal residents, to become citizens. We are a nation of immigrants. I'm a first-generation American, and I'm willing to bet we have some more here too. And I'm very proud that my father left Germany in 1935. He was 18 years old. He spoke no English. He knew no one. He had not much more than a shirt on his back. He came here 18 years old, alone. And you know where he loved to go? To the library. He loved to go to the library. He could go for free, and the whole world opened to him. He became a great reader. You know, he never even graduated from high school. Never even finished his last year of high school because he had to leave in 1935. And he became one of the most educated people I ever knew. He would read magazines that I couldn't understand about science and economics because of libraries. And libraries are the perfect place to have the American place, to educate new citizens so that they can be productive and help our nation. The investment in this kind of education is worth every single penny. And so I have written to the federal government saying, I want an explanation. I want this money restored. I want you to do the right thing. Not just for the Hartford Library, but for all libraries where these kinds of programs take place. And as I look at this group, and I say it whenever I go to the immigration and naturalization ceremonies, what I see is America. Different races, different religions, different backgrounds, national backgrounds, cultures, heritages. That diversity makes America great. We are the greatest nation in the history of the world because we are a nation of immigrants. And that's why we need the American place here in America, here in the Hartford Library, here in one of the great cities in the world, because it has so many immigrants. And I want to thank the mayor. I know he's on a tight time frame. I appreciate his being here, and thank you to the library for hosting us. The mayor's right. I wish we didn't have to be here for this reason. But we're going to be fighting to get this money restored for the American place. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you, Senator. And now I'd like to invite Homa Nafisi, who is the Executive Director of the American Place, to provide a little background about the services we provide.
Thank you, Richard and Mayor left, and Senator Blumenthal, I can't thank you. For 25 years, so I appreciate that, your support. Yes, for over 25 years, the American Place has remained steadfast in its commitment to promoting U.S. citizenship. In 2013, our library received official recognition from the U.S. Department of Justice to provide legal counseling through its accredited staff. This led to an exponential increase in the demand for citizenship, as it allowed us to offer both educational and legal immigration counseling. This work was further enhanced by 9 competitive citizenship grant awards from USCIS, including an Innovation Award. These grants, awarded consecutively since 2011, recognize our shared commitment to advancing naturalization and underscore the pivotal role of Hartford Public Library in fostering inclusion for new Americans. Each year, through the unwavering commitment of our staff attorneys and accredited representatives, the American Place helps approximately 200 individuals attain citizenship. Since October 2023, we have prepared and submitted nearly 400 applications. However, despite these significant efforts and successes, the demand for our legal services continues to surpass our capacity, with wait lists regularly exceeding 50 individuals. It is now my privilege to introduce Cristina Borges Montenegro. Cristina first sought assistance from the American Place during the pandemic. At that time, we had transitioned our services entirely online, ensuring uninterrupted access to both citizenship classes and legal counseling. Though she was not employed at the library then, her citizenship teacher recognized her dedication and recommended her as a prospective candidate for any future openings at the library. Today, Cristina serves as our Citizenship Administrative Coordinator, embodying the very mission of inclusion and empowerment that we strive to uphold. If the challenges of the pandemic did not deter us from fulfilling the dream of citizenship for so many in our community, then we will not allow the sudden unwarranted termination of our grant to do so now. We remain resolute in our commitment to supporting individuals on their path to citizenship. Thank you, and I now welcome Cristina.
Thank you, Homa. I am Cristina Burgos, Citizenship Administrative Coordinator for the American Place. And first, I would like to highlight the fact that as an immigrant, I experienced a difficult process of adjusting to a whole new country and culture because I left behind my family and could only take with me all the wonderful memories that I made with them throughout my life until then. I brought with me the values that I learned at home. Above all, the love of work, responsibility, and the fervent desire to honor the efforts my parents made in educating me with the morals and importance of academics. In my heart, I made this decision full of dreams and hope, convinced to take advantage of all the opportunities offered by a country like this that welcomed me in a dignified manner. Applying for American citizenship has given me a sense of belonging to a community that has formed me and at the same time gives me the opportunity and privilege of reciprocating the generosity of which I have been a beneficiary, impacting other lives. Being part of a community means working actively to improve it and contribute to its well-being. Thanks to organizations like the Hartford Public Library that provide support and guidance to all people without distinction, we can accomplish this. Hartford Public Library helped me and provided me with the tools to go through the entire process with the ideal guidance and counseling available to me. I was able to complete my desire to become a United States citizen and have the certainty of a better future for me, my family, and my community. I thank God for putting them in my path. With this new opportunity, I was able to further my career, which is something that I always dreamed of doing since I moved here 23 years ago. I see now within my daughter, who will be turning 22 this year, the opportunity she has had by growing up here. She is now almost done with college, and we are together still reaching major milestones in our lives. Graduating college will be life-changing for her, just as becoming U.S. citizen has been life-changing for me. Because of the Hartford Public Library vast resources, I was guided through the application process. I still have a younger daughter to see through school, and I feel more prepared and secure now that I have made a great push forward in both my professional and personal life. Thank you.
Richard, I'd love to hear about what losing this grant has sort of meant for the program. Is the program still running? Just at reduced capacity, or is there some money left over, or what exactly is the situation currently?
So the program continues to run because, as Homa has reiterated, we are committed to this. So we are out seeking additional support. Really, our hope is to have this funding restored, which is why the Senator has really come to help us in that effort. But we are patching together the resources to ensure that we can continue this while we ideally have the funding restored or have found additional funding resources to continue that.
What percentage of the program's budget did that $450,000 grant account for?
Good question. What percentage of the budget does the grant account for? Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say it's 50 to probably 70%. Yeah.
Gotcha. Senator Blumenthal, I feel like with a lot of these cuts, there's the question of, can they really do that? What is your interpretation in this case of can they really do that?
That's a great question. The answer is they cannot legally do what they're doing. They cannot legally simply impound the monies and stop the grant. Even under simple contract law, it's illegal. But constitutionally, Congress has the power of the purse. The Department of Homeland Security cannot simply say, we're ending that grant, even though it's appropriated by Congress. And in this case, it's a pittance compared to their overall budget. It's probably $21 million nationally, because so much of the investment in this program comes from in-kind contributions. Even though the federal money may be 60% of the total budget, a lot of the education, for example, the use of the library is not necessarily, as far as I know, counted as part of that budget. So they have a place to do it, a great place to do it, but it's not compensated by the federal government. So long and short is, everybody agrees we have to have legal immigration. You know, this is not about illegal border crossings. This is about people who are here legally now. They're legal residents under one status or another. They are meeting all the qualifications to become citizens. They're going through all the steps, they're playing by the rules, they're getting their education to be citizens. And the federal government unilaterally decides that the pennies, and it's no more than pennies, out of trillions of dollars that the federal government is spending ought to be terminated. It's illegal, it's stupid, and it's cruel.
So you hear some people, Republicans, people in the Trump orbit say, well, we don't have anything against legal immigrants, only undocumented. But then you also hear some people say, actually, we don't want any immigrants, or we don't want any immigrants from certain countries. So what message do you think cutting a program like this is sending along those lines?
I attribute these cuts to incompetence. Simple incompetence. I don't see them as a result of an ideological approach, but what I would say to those people who want to, in effect, close our borders to all immigration, we can't afford it. Businesses will tell you we need more workers. The most active advocates of legal immigration are the business community because they need the talents, the energy, the hard work. Nobody works harder than someone who has struggled to come here so they can enjoy the freedom and job opportunities here. So I would just say to them, as a nation, we can't afford to simply shut our nation to legal immigration, which is a source of our strength and a necessary source of talent and energy, ranging from the guy who's working on the streets in Hartford to nuclear scientists and the folks who volunteer for our armed services. Immigrants volunteer to serve our country in uniform. So I don't think that's a hard argument to make. And people should just understand legal immigration is a source of strength for this nation. And I would just say to you, you know, as I say to the immigrants when they become citizens, nobody is knocking down the doors to become a citizen of China or Russia or Belarus or Hungary. They want to come here. And that's a tribute to our strength. We need that strength from immigrants who come here.
What makes you think that it's incompetence and not ideology in this case?
What do I think?
What makes you think that it's incompetence in this case as opposed to ideology?
Denying education to people who lawfully become citizens and are a tremendous resource for our country serves no ideological purpose. It's just totally irrational and stupid. So I have to think that there are some smart people in the federal government. Elon Musk came here from South Africa. He ought to know better than just slashing and trashing this program. And so it is part of an arbitrary, draconian approach to chainsaw the federal government incompetently.
Thank you, everybody, for being here today with us, and thank you, Senator, for your stalwart support of the library and for this program in general, and for all that you do for our state on a federal level. Thank you so much.
Kyrie, what's up?
Hey, how's it going?
I know I still want to do another thing. I think he's in 2 minutes for